Hey game changers, welcome to another edition of my weekly trades analysis. This is Grant. This week we have 4 days because September 6th it was Labor Day. So let's get right to it. These are most of the trades that I did this week, and the trades I did during live stream, they are not here. And if you're interested in those trades, you can go watch my live stream. But I did 2 trades yesterday after my live stream, and these are the 2 trades I want to talk about, especially the first one, AAL. And if you want to know my strategies, and if you want to trade with me, don't look at the prices that I got in, and just go with me and tell me what you think. Let's trade this together. And I'm going to tell you like what I was thinking and my reasons. So the first one, let's look at AAL. When I was looking at this chart right here, because it came on my scanner after the volume right here, these two. So I noticed before that I didn't even look at it, and you can see that you rallied almost 5%. If you look at my weekly charts, this is yesterday, this is the day before yesterday, and it actually only goes around 3.3%ish, and this one is 2.3%. So I would think like every day it would go only around 3%, but right now you can see that it had already rallied for more than 4%. That's a lot. So I was a little bit concerned. I was a little bit worried. When you see something like this, what do? Do you go in or do you wait? For me, I thought this one has the momentum. So I went in. I got in. I got in around 10:27. This is the place where I got in. And look at the next few candles. It was making a new high, and I had my trailing stop pretty low right here, and it was a full-size position as well. It went and it kept on rallying crazy until right here. I got out around 11:20, which is right here. That's the place I got out, and it basically ticked me out. Was it a right decision? Was it the right place for my trading stop? I think so, because after that, it was trading down and sideways. So I think it was a pretty good trade right there. It was a really, really good trade, and I got most out of it. I got a lot. So what I'm trying to tell you is that even though the stock it has rallied for a lot, but if the momentum is there, you feel the momentum is there, get in, because the momentum would keep on going, and give yourself a trailing stop. If it takes you out, that's fine. Try the next trade. That's what I did right here. Well, it would be kind of silly to long here, right? Because the volume right here, this is way too high, and you can see the sellers came in, and I would not long right here. But I think you can still try a smaller position. Do not be afraid to get in. All right, let's talk about the next one, NIO. When you see this, what would you do? Would you long or would you short? Obviously, if you long, you're going with the trend, right? But I was thinking there are a couple of indicators that made me want to short this very, very quickly. For example, when I see this one, this candle right here, I see a hanging man. And this one rejected the previous bullish candle, and it keeps on going. So I gave myself a very tight stop, which is above the high of previous candles right there. And the volume is sort of dying down, and I thought this red bearish volume starts picking up. So I wanted to go short, and it went for a little bit. And eventually it ticked me out with my trailing stop at 11 o'clock. I made 10 cents around there. It was a very beautiful trade, very quick trade as well. I was a little bit more adventurous on this one. All right, guys, let's talk about September 8th. I had 1 winner, 3 losers, and overall, I was in the red zone on September 8th. I was a little bit frustrated with the way I was doing it, and especially my last trade, I did a little bit of a revenge trading, and it was really bad. And in the moment I realized that I was revenge trading, I stopped. So that's why I only had 4 trades. I also show you guys all of my bad trades, not just my good trades, and I want to let you know that revenge trading is bad. And this is a bad example. Don't do what I did. Let's look at the first one. The first one is a winner, and the last 3 trades, they were losers. First one, Microsoft. and it opened around this area, $299.70, and buyers came in, pushed it really high. Then sellers, a lot of sellers came in and pushed it back down all the way here. And when I see this long wick, you see this long wick right there, super long, from $360 all the way to $299.75 right there. My initial reaction was getting short this. The price I got in was $299.60. It wasn't really low at the bottom, but I think it was decent because at least I waited that sellers came in. Then the next candle, it was beautiful. My initial reaction was right. That more sellers came in, it pushed it even lower. And I was really happy. It was a full position. I was in the money big time. But then the next candle, look at it. What do you do when you see something like this? I got out. I don't care if it's gonna work later. When I see this, it tells me that this candle is very bullish, way too bullish. My initial plan was sabotaged by this bullish candle right there. And I got out actually around $299.43. So I was still in the money a little bit, and I was really happy because I still made a little bit of money. And then look at the next candle. It got really even higher than the previous one. So it doesn't matter where it went for the next few candles. This is not my plan. That was my Microsoft trade on September 8th, and it was my only winning trade. Let's look at the next 3 losing trades and learn from my mistakes. When I'm looking back on what I did on MU, I was a little bit of angry at myself. First of all, this was like a it was a fake breakout. And when I look at this, obviously, I told myself, trend is down, so go down, go short, right? Don't go long on this. So I shorted at 9:45. Look at the next one. I got rejected. It didn't go the way I planned it to, and the next candle was even higher. So I got out right after, and actually, I think the better trade that I should have done was actually waited this, go back to this VWAP right there, and then maybe short on the VWAP. I keep on telling you guys, sometimes in a VWAP is resistance or it's a support, right? I should have waited, or I should have gone half size and maybe average down on VWAP, give myself another chance. That's what I should have done. But eventually I was right. My initial direction was right all the way down here. But this was a bad trade. It was really quick and I just lost money on this one. You know, maybe I should have gone half size and average down on the VWAP and short there. But you know, what's done is done. So that was a bad trade on MU. Nvidia, I got a little bit greedy. Nvidia, it looked like this when I was trading it, and this candle right here, obviously I would go short on Nvidia, I would not go long, and right here I went full size on this part. I thought it was going to go down because it almost touched VWAP and it got rejected, and the previous one right there, it went above VWAP but it got rejected, and it kept on making a new low, so I thought it was going to trade down. The next candle, it also worked. I thought I was right. Definitely, I was right. I like this volume, the previous volume, not the second one. And I doubled down. I went harder on this, and the next candle, I didn't like this one, and I got out. Actually, I got out with a tiny loss. With double of my full size, I got out with a tiny loss, so I wasn't really unhappy. My plan was, it was going to go smooth. It was going to give me all of these red candles. So when I was looking at back, I was really angry at myself, and I didn't like this at all, because I got greedy. I doubled down my size, and I didn't leave enough room to let it go. And I got out too quickly. It was not good on Nvidia. And the last trade on September 8th, it was SPY. I got in right here. Obviously, when you see something like this, you know it's a long position. I went long. So the moment I went long, I got rejected right after. Look at that. And obviously, I was furious, and it was a full size again. And then I doubled down at 950. That's what I'm talking about. That's a revenge trading. I should have cut the loss and just leave it because I don't want to get myself in bigger trouble. What if it went back down more? And remember, it was full size twice. Eventually win a little bit, and I was really angry again. I said to myself, why didn't just let it go? But I think it was still the right way to do it because I realized it was a bad choice. It was a bad decision. So I got myself out right after 5 minutes, and I realized I was revenge trading. Look, this is how dangerous it could happen. I got out here very early. I could have waited. I could have made a lot of profit and, got taken out by my trading stop right there again. But I was revenge trading. And after this trade right there, I realized I was in bad shape and my emotion got the best of me, and I didn't like what I was doing. If you feel like you are not in the mood or everything is going against you, stop and come back the next day. All right, the first trade I did on September 7th, it was MTCH. And when I see this, I want to go short on this one. And especially the next minute, I went short. I like the volume. You see that? I always have a reason. This making a new low, sellers came in, volume picked up much more than the previous one, and I went short. I let it run. It went. When I see this one right there, I took half out because it was really volatile. See, 3% right there. It was a big win. And I took half out because I don't know, because it opened super high. And I thought it was one of these, buy on rumors, sell on news thing. And I thought it was going to go south more, and I let it run. But eventually, I was taken out at 9:37 right there. So eventually didn't go. But it was a huge win on MTCH, and I was really happy about this one. All right, now let's look at Clove. It was a short position and it was a quick one as well. It went right here. Obviously, I shouldn't go short. I should have longed this, but I had a feeling that I should try go short, but my stop was too tight. So I got in around 10:23. I got taken out at 10:27. I went short. I thought it was going to go down, but I actually had this, pullback. It went back higher and then it put down more after that. So I was a little bit too early. Eventually it went back. It was kind of trading sideways, but I just wanted to try it. Sometimes you can be adventurous if you have your size right. It was okay. Small loss. The next trade was also a losing trade, but it was a small position because it's Tesla. If you guys watch my live stream, I don't like trading Tesla. I had a Tesla long, but I didn't wait. I thought it was gonna go, and it had this breakout right there, but it didn't work for the next couple of minutes, and I didn't want to wait. Actually, I just I lost confidence, and I got myself out after about 6 minutes or so. So actually, if I had waited the 7th minute right there, it went up, and I would have waited a little bit longer, and it would have been a winning trade instead of a losing trade. But it was okay. At least on that day, I had a MTCH. That was a big win. So I was pretty happy about it. The first trade I did on September 3rd, it was Apple. When you see this, would you go long or would you go short? Well, I see these long wicks right here from top. Obviously, that means sellers, they were coming in. And you see the volume more and more. And I waited a little bit longer when I see this green candle and I started shorting over there. Then it went. I really liked that. I was thinking maybe I could add more because it was going my way. And the volume, it was healthy. Maybe I should add more. So waited for another 30 seconds or so. And it had this. When I see this, then sellers came back in to push it down further. So I was still confident. But after the next one, I see the same thing happening again, and I see this support is sort of forming. You see that? It wasn't making a new low, and I didn't like that. So I got out right after the next candle, take some small profit and get out. And eventually actually it went back up, you see that? And it would have been a losing trade if I had waited. All right, so that's Apple trade. The next trade I did, it was a long position. It was an any, as you can see right here, volume. Very beautiful volume. And the candles, it was making a new high every time. And obviously long. So I longed this around here. So I longed this. It went my way for a while. And around this 33-minute area, I had this rejection. I had this bearish candle right there. And the volume was also pretty high as well, and I didn't like it at all. I waited for a while, for 2 minutes. It didn't go back. I got myself out at this second red candle because the volume was picking up, and I thought a rejection was coming, and I got out. I think it was a good trade. It was a losing trade, but it was a correct, good trade, even though it was a losing one. This is BTCM. The price I got in was $13.87 right there. I went in long. Do you see the volume right there? And the time I got in was 9:57. And because it was going back and touching this VWAP, I thought, let's give it a shot. Let's try. It didn't go for the first 30 seconds, but it went above the VWAP and it went up more. Well, eventually it didn't really go. And when I see this wick above there, I didn't like that wick. And I waited only for about 2 minutes. So when I see this wick right there, I knew that it wasn't going because I thought, hey, the volume is there. If you want to go back, that trend, that momentum, it would have come back already. So it didn't go and I lost confidence and I sold my position. And eventually it went all the way back here. So I dodged the bullet again and it was the right call because of its long wicks and the volume, it didn't pick up more. So again, guys, this is all of the trades that I did this week. And if you don't want to know the prices, you shouldn't look at them. Just go back to my video and trade with me and listen to my reasons and some of my mistakes as well. Okay, guys, I hope you find this video helpful. If you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe. This is Grant. Trade and invest responsibly.